Every September, the eyes of the world turn to New York City as global leaders, diplomats and representatives from nearly every nation arrive for a pivotal event. This is the United Nations General Assembly, a unique gathering that brings together voices from all corners of the globe under one roof. The Assembly serves as a vital forum for dialogue, negotiation and diplomacy, where nations can address their differences and seek common ground. Here, world leaders take the stage to present their national priorities, share their visions for the future, and confront urgent global issues like climate change, conflict, poverty, and human rights. The General Assembly was established in the aftermath of World War II, born from a collective desire to prevent future global catastrophes. It stands as a symbol of hope, embodying the belief that shared challenges, no matter how daunting, require shared solutions and international cooperation. On September 23, 2025, President Donald Trump returned to this historic stage. Known for his skepticism towards international institutions, his presence was highly anticipated and closely watched by both allies and critics. Delegates from around the world were eager to see whether his approach to global cooperation had shifted, especially as the world faced ongoing wars, economic instability, and mounting humanitarian crises. This particular session was especially significant, marking the 80th anniversary of the United Nations, a milestone reached at a time when the need for unity and collective action was more urgent than ever. As President Trump stepped up to the podium, the world watched closely, waiting to hear how he would define America's role in an increasingly complex and interconnected world. President Trump began his address with a moment of unscripted candor, openly announcing a teleprompter malfunction to the world's assembled leaders. Rather than falter, he used the opportunity to speak directly and passionately, setting a tone of authenticity and confidence that resonated throughout the hall. Speaking from the heart, Trump emphasized his commitment to transparency and his willingness to break from tradition, making it clear that his message would not be filtered or scripted. He forcefully rejected the ideals of globalism, instead celebrating the importance of national sovereignty and the enduring strength of the American people. Trump argued that each nation should put its own citizens first, just as he pledged to do for the United States. Trump questioned the effectiveness and purpose of the United Nations, pointing to peace agreements his administration had brokered as tangible successes in regions where, he claimed, the UN had struggled or failed to deliver results. He urged world leaders to embrace patriotism, defend their own borders, and reject the idea of a borderless world. Trump also spoke out in defense of fundamental freedoms, including free speech and religious liberty, insisting these values must be protected. His speech strongly reaffirmed the America First policy, making it clear that U.S. interests would always take precedence over international constraints or expectations, and that American prosperity and security were his top priorities. Ultimately, Trump presented a bold vision of strong, independent states, challenging the prevailing notion of an interconnected global community and calling for a renewed focus on national identity and self-determination. Addressing the Ukraine war, Trump expressed frustration, claiming he could resolve it swiftly. He urged Europe to cease energy purchases from Russia to cripple its war effort. On Israel and Hamas, he condemned Western allies for recognizing a Palestinian state, arguing it incentivized terrorism. Trump demanded the release of hostages taken during the October 2023 attack. His approach bypassed traditional diplomacy, favoring direct, decisive action over prolonged negotiations. Trump positioned the U.S. as a decisive actor, impatient with the UN's slow processes. Trump declared a sweeping victory on the American economy, boldly claiming that inflation had been defeated, even as many experts and official reports pointed to a more complicated reality. He painted a picture of economic strength and resilience, emphasizing job growth and rising wages, while critics questioned the accuracy of his statements and pointed to ongoing challenges faced by ordinary Americans. His message was carefully crafted for a domestic audience, aiming to reassure Americans of their nation's prosperity and global leadership. Trump's rhetoric was filled with patriotic themes, projecting an image of American strength and unity, and seeking to rally support from his political base. On the issue of migration, he issued stern warnings against what he called open borders, promoting his hardline immigration policies as essential for national security. Trump argued that strict border enforcement was not only necessary for the safety of American citizens, but also a model for other countries to follow. Trump also championed the expansion of fossil fuels, positioning American energy production as a key to both economic independence and global influence. He argued that by increasing domestic oil and gas output, the U.S. could reduce reliance on adversarial nations and strengthen its own security. Addressing the threat of drug cartels, Trump promised decisive military action to combat the flow of illicit drugs into the country. He vowed to use every tool at his disposal, including the armed forces, to protect American communities from the dangers of narcotics and organized crime. Throughout his speech, Trump's foreign policy was closely intertwined with domestic priorities, using the projection of American power abroad as a means to address issues that directly impact citizens at home, and reinforcing his vision of a strong, self-reliant nation. The speech was memorable for its unscripted moments, like the teleprompter malfunction. Reactions were divided, allies applauded while others sat in silence, reminded of Trump's disdain for multilateralism. Supporters praised his bluntness and defense of sovereignty, while critics saw it as isolationist and confrontational. Trump displayed a contradiction, questioning the UN's purpose publicly but supporting it privately. His 2025 address was a blend of tough talk, domestic politicking, and strategic ambiguity, energizing supporters and concerning detractors about global diplomacy's future.